Just about made it to this one. I'm not gonna lie, we may have still been celebrating from last night, but don't worry, terms and conditions apply. The title is just sarcasm, so don't drag me, okay? I'm sure most of you understand that, but I just have to get that in because otherwise, you know, some people will just be like, Matisse is really wanting a front three of left backs. No, it's just bants, okay? They're all finishing their dinner, and I thought, why not? It's gonna be a good show. I'll see you guys in a second. Yo, people, lateness is greatness. Welcome back. You already know what time it is. It's the all-you-can-eat Chelsea show. And we're back. And listen, Miz is having some technical difficulties today. I can't even see him on the screen right now. Can you, Younes?
I can't see a thing, mate. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Australia has KFC Wi-Fi.
Miz, we've only got a black screen here, but I can see you on my computer, but I can't see you here.
Has there been a massive Australian power cut?
Can you guys see me now?
No, bro. Your camera is pitch black. You know when you told us before you have camera issues?
I don't know why. I can see myself.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, there we go.
You've appeared.
So yeah, that's why we was a little bit late. We just trying to get Mrs. technical issues sorted. But you guys, lateness is greatness. You already know what time it is, and that is why we have that, just in case of issues like this. So we're covering for Miz today. Younes, first of all, how you doing, bro?
Brother, I'm good. I'm flipping amazing. I love this feeling of winning a first leg in a Champions League quarterfinal. Having experienced this for about, when was the last time? 7 years ago. I mean, I miss it. I'm feeling good, man. I hope you guys are good too. I hope everyone watching is good. I'm sure you are. You're probably hungover. You're probably feeling crazy, but we're all very happy. And because of that, because it's all you can eat Chelsea, I decided to come with something sweet, just like yesterday's performance. Sweet, a chocolate-filled croissant.
Oh. Do you know
beautiful.
what?
You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
Do you know
Sweet.
what? Yeah? Last night, I had it in my head that I would go to Tesco before the show and I would get a croissant, I would get so many things, a muffin, and then sleep hit me.
I know the feeling.
And I got up, right? I got up and I was like, I ain't going anywhere, am I?
You always make promises to yourself just as you're about to fall off. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then you wake up and you're like, nah, I'm not.
Nah, so I just came with a plum. The biggest downgrade you could possibly imagine. But, Miz, how are you doing, bro? It's a joy to see you in the light.
Bro, you know what? I've been so good throughout the day. It's been absolutely unbelievable, that particular performance, the way we won and whatnot. And then I'm all excited for this show, and my whole technical thing just absolutely collapses on me. My laptop's acting up, my webcam's not working, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I meant to do here? So luckily, you know, I'm logged in from my phone here. So hopefully we have a good show from here on in. It can only go upwards from here.
100%. And people, I got to take what I can get. My Wi-Fi is usually atrocious. So whenever, if it's Miz or Tammy or whoever, I got to be like, I got to take it when I can. Because I just need to know everybody can have similar mess ups to me. Because me, it's a daily occurrence. We've already got a super chat flying in. So we can't even waste too much time. French croissant, hey there from Quebec?
No, Quebec.
Quebec.
You know I'm struggling with these pronunciations. Then you go and live somewhere like that, Quebec. You're really it's struggling. I'm struggling here, Montreal.
It's not like it's not like London, is it?
Yeah, just unbelievable, beautiful. Montreal in Canada, I guess. So fantastic. Listen, people. Like I said with the title, nothing but sarcasm. But when you take into account Alonso's free kicks and his goal hanging and the volleys and all the stuff that he loves to do in the box, and then you take into account Emerson's left foot finish against Atletico Madrid, where he's just taking it like a striker, and then you take into account Ben Chilwell, who decided to do a Fernando Torres remake and round the goalkeeper and then slide it in with his right foot under high pressure situations like he'd been doing it his whole life. I'm starting to think to myself, that potentially, just maybe, with Kai Havertz not scoring, Timo not scoring, that we could have a new front three on our hands full of left backs. And we can do it because Aspilicueta could potentially go to left wing back. So what are your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, it's crazy. The fact that now it just looks like we get goals from all three of them. It's mad. But yesterday surprised me in a very good way, because I had my doubts in Ben Chilwell that going forward, he's not as effective as a Marcos Alonso. But for him to be the complete player in that position, I was just, and I've said it for a while, I just want him to possess the same threat that Marcos Alonso does going forward. We know defensively, Alonso's a little bit suspect. Chilwell's not. If Chilwell can just possess that attacking threat like Alonso does, he'll be complete. And yesterday, he did. So I'm starting to think, hey, you know what? Maybe Chilwell is finally complete. Maybe we've got the player we wanted in a while. And that goal yesterday, getting that second goal was so important. It was so important because we had the advantage with the first away goal. And I even said it on my watch along. I was like, if we get a second goal, oh my God, because it's legit 1 foot in the semi-final, full on. And right now, we are in such a good position. We could lose 1-0 and still go through. Like, it's crazy. But Ben Chilwell going around the keeper, doing what he did. Madness.
Yeah. Someone said lateness is Timo. We're going to get onto all of that so soon in more detail, but we're going to have a bit of fun at the start before I start crucifying. I'm looking at the front three, Miz, like I said, right? Alonso's got the height. He's always in the box. Even from left wing back, he's always in the box. So he can be that central striker, lone striker position. Yes, he's not going to be the best looking on the ball, but he's going to get the job done. You got Chilwell, a bit of pace on the left, energetic. And then you got Emerson, who's played right wing before. He's a little bit more cultured and maybe all cut in. Sounds perfect, doesn't it?
Yeah, man. Why not? Let's just do it for the second leg against Porto. Let's just stick those three up front. I mean, we've got the two goals lead at the moment, so we can pretty much try what we want. Honestly, if we're being serious, I'm so glad Chilwell scored that. And I think off the back of that performance, and not just that, if you look at the last few performances of Chilwell, he's another one of those players, as we keep saying, is on the upward trajectory, right? So I think we can safely now say that Chilwell is probably the number one left wing back for Chelsea Football Club. There was always a bit of doubt with Alonso around, but right now we can start hoping that Thomas Tuchel perseveres with Chilwell being in the left wing back position. But yeah, I mean, can you imagine, having Alonso up front and having Chilwell and Emerson on both sides of Alonso? They're probably the most potent goal scorers at the moment for us. So it'll be pure madness.
Has Miss frozen for you there, Younes?
No, he's moving on lag robotically.
Because there was one moment where he was kind of like this. It was kind of cool.
Man,
we'll have these issues. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna have a tough time
as well. It's gonna be a laggy Xbox party, but it is what it is. We'll get it done. We got another super chat here. Younes' reaction when Werner dribbled without the ball had me dying. In all seriousness, though, no technical ability scares me, man. It's so bad. Listen, don't shoot the messenger.
Mate, listen, when that happened, I was baffled. Like, he was running, and then he kept running, left the ball behind, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How do you leave the ball behind, bruv?
It is starting to remind me of Torres.
See Werner's reaction when he did that. He was like, even he couldn't believe what he did.
Like, what did I just do?
Man, you know what? Yeah, when it comes to Timo Werner, I'm very tired on him. Like, I honestly just need him to just stop performing like this. It's actually giving me a headache. Like,
you know what it is? Yesterday, because the stakes were so high, right? Thomas Tuchel done the right thing. We can't experiment in the Champions League quarterfinal. It's as simple as that. So when the space opened up, we went 1-0 up. We knew Porto were going to attack. The space was going to be in behind. The game began to suit Timo Werner. If he were, and I said this at half time, if he makes mistakes, he needs to come off. Simple as that. There's no hanging about. We can't wait for something to happen in the quarterfinal. He made, well, in total, 3 mistakes. 2 big ones. One losing the ball very easily, and then the second one that we just discussed. And then Thomas Tuchel was like, no, bring him off. And the same goes for Havertz, but Havertz kind of different.
Younes,
he didn't really play that bad.
The header as well.
The header. Yeah.
I'm surprised as to why he didn't, like I said, I just think it would be better for him if he came off the bench, because at least then he could use that pace when we go a goal up in these games, and then he can go in behind. But I won't even get onto him in too much detail right now, because I feel like I don't want to, because I feel like I spend a lot of time talking about him now, and I don't even want it to. I don't even want it to kind of look like an agenda. It's not an agenda. I'm just sick and tired of him performing like this and still starting ahead of other players. But there's a lot of other things to talk about before I even mention Werner. And we did win, and there were some great performances in there that I want to take. I definitely want to take priority. So, But before we get into the game, the Chelsea admin, is he going to get the sack? Because
my God.
The Chelsea admin is taking lateness is greatness to a whole new level. And I just think it's very important to say, first of all, that slogan is Bagseed, okay? And I'm going to
trademark.
I'm going to copyright it because I'm seeing the Chelsea admin and he's moving a bit mad, okay? So not only did you kind of take my slogan and turn up late for the lineup, then get it wrong again, have to delete it because you didn't have Pulisic on the bench, and then put it back up, okay? So there could be some lawsuits there, but I don't want to do an Antonio Conte, but I will if you press me. Okay, I've had words with people on YouTube in the past for trying to steal my slogan. I remember when Tammy tried it. I went on Tammy's stream innocently, just going to check out his thing, as you do as a friend. And I hear this is greatness. I said, this boy want to slap. I will come to Sheffield and beat your ass. I will come to Sheffield and beat you. Yeah. So. We had word. It hasn't happened again. Chelsea now want to try it. They didn't actually say it, but I felt like that was what they was trying to do. Banter. Yeah, don't do that. Just send the lineup out on time. Porto had their lineup out. I thought Porto
half an hour before.
Bro, I thought Porto were going to play themselves. It's ridiculous. And then
you know the Champions League line. The Champions League lineups generally come out, I think, half an hour earlier than normal Premier League lineups. So that's why the Porto one was out. And I couldn't believe why we were lagging, even after the hour, lagging like my internet right now. So, honestly, something's got to be said about this. That's now 2 strikes. I'm sorry, you don't get a third one.
Listen,
mate. Here's the thing, because the Premier League normally is an hour before kickoff. Champions League normally about an hour and 15. Porto had theirs out. We were late even by Premier League standards. Bayern Munich PSG had theirs out. Chelsea were just hanging about doing nothing, to the point where I saw independent accounts that do graphics start reaching out to Chelsea saying, do you need a hand? Do you need some help? I saw Talk Chelsea. I saw Chelsea Social, a couple of others. Well, like, Chelsea, you all right? Like, what's going on? I'm just like, mate, I even put a tweet out saying, look, the admin's going to get the lineup wrong and he's going to delete. And then it happened. I said that as a joke, and then it flipping happened. I mean, I couldn't believe it.
As well? The Fifth Stand app was so lazy that they put the West Brom bench.
They put the West Brom bench.
They put the West Brom bench under the Porto lineup. So I was like, why is this Callum Robinson still like, we've just been traumatized by this guy. 5 goals in 5 games, and now he's playing for Porto. I was like, surely it can't be this bad.
Is that why there was all these tweets going around
about Robinson? Yeah,
because I'm like, when did he join Porto? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Right? No wonder now it makes all sense.
I mean, look, it's one of those things. I was nervous for a second because I was like, if we don't send anybody out on that pitch, Robertson's definitely going to come off the bench and score. That's that's likely. You know, he's already scoring against 11 men. There's no need to make it worse now and easier. I thought we was going to forfeit the game and just say, yeah, they. I mean, what happens if you forfeit a Champions League game? Is that not 3-0 on aggregate? Legit.
Like, yeah, I started to think, is Thomas Tuchel in bed? Like, did he get the day wrong or something? Like, has he not given a lineup? Have we forfeited? If we forfeit, I think it's a 3-0 loss automatically. Yeah. I think that's how it works. I've just seen a really good comment, by the way. I feel like it's appropriate for us to say this. That's from George. And obviously, because of Claude passing away just last week, I think it's relevant for us to say, admin, it's time to go.
Yeah,
it's time to go.
Like, do you know what I love about Claude is that line is going to be iconic and it's never going to go.
Mate, it's cemented.
It is cemented in football fan media. I love that. So
by the way,
you know what?
Way,
listen.
But
go on.
By the way, guys, like, is it really the admin's fault though, or is it someone providing the news to admin?
No, it would normally be the admin's responsibility to put it up correctly.
Let me say this, right?
Now, in terms of the timing, maybe that's not him. He's obviously waiting for a lineup to be given, or her, waiting for a lineup to be given. But in terms of putting it out correctly on socials, that's admin's responsibility. He put West Brom's bench.
Listen, mate, sometimes the players in the team aren't performing, but the buck starts with the manager, and the manager is the admin. Do you know what I mean? He is the social media manager, and that is where the blame is all going to go. Maybe he needs to do a press conference from now on. Before, I don't know. We need answers. I need answers. You can't just keep getting away with this. It is becoming a joke now. I don't know what to believe anymore. It's like VAR. Is it a goal? Is it not? Is the lineup right? Is it not? I don't know anymore. It's one of those things.
True.
But yeah, we'll move on. I mean, I don't want him to get sacked or anything, but I do think he's making his own bed at this point. He's kind of doing a Mourinho where it's like, look, we really don't have much choice, mate, at this point, and there is people vying for his place. I've seen the comment section. There's a lot of applications for social media manager. So listen, be on your guard, bro. I think third strike and you're probably out. Chelsea Football Club waited 7 years for this night. For nights like these, Thomas Tuchel give us 3 in the space of 2 months. All credit needs to go directed towards the German TT. Facts, because listen, like Younes said earlier, we haven't had this in 7 years. So,
7 goddamn years.
3 nights, actually getting past the knockouts, the round of 16, thank God. And now the round of 8, we're halfway through. And I make this very clear. I echo
2 away goals.
2 away goals. It's funny because just real quickly before we get into it, 2 away goals. But by the way, the home leg is in Spain and
on the same pitch,
on the same pitch ground
in Portugal.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like, imagine now if Chelsea had Barcelona and we said to them, right, the away leg is in Wales and the home leg is in Wales. So we just have to go up the M1 and you have to fly over twice, but away goals still count and it's away from home for us. Make it make sense. I'm just saying,
Boys, just quickly, I want to just ask this. I'm confused as to why this is the case for us. Maybe you guys can explain to me. Because Dortmund get a home game the next leg against Man City. So Man City has to go to Germany. Why is the case where we are in Seville?
Because Portugal are on our red list.
Yeah.
So we can't, like, no one from this country can travel to Portugal at the moment. Like, at all.
Right.
Unless I think there's like certain things. But in terms of things like this, we're avoiding Portugal completely. They're on the red list. So that's why it had to be played neutral. And I think it's vice versa with Portugal and England. I'm not sure. But with us and Portugal, definitely it's red listed.
Oh,
right.
I like it.
The M4, Miz. Matisse. Sorry.
I cannot beat these guys. You want me to pronounce everything properly. You want me to speak in correct English. You want me to know which motorway it is. Give me a break.
Mate, the M1, I should have corrected you on that. The M1 takes you up to Leeds, not flipping Wales.
See, I wouldn't even know. So Matisse could have said M1, M8, M7, it didn't even matter.
I am freestyling. I am playing the Ozil Royal Arsenal. I might not track back. I might not play away from home. I can't lie to you. But I will create a moment of magic at times and you will like it, okay? And it will be an assist and it will turn into a golazo. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I didn't know it was the M4 and it was actually, and I said the M1. But I tell you this, it's part of the package. And this is what you paid for from Real Madrid, so you better suck it up and like it.
By the way, is Spain blacklisted? Is Spain in the blacklist by any or red list? Whatever?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. But then again, it keeps changing. Honestly, like I've lost track, mate. What's going on makes no sense. Simple as that. I just given up.
Yeah. my own chat has turned against me today. They're hilarious. Oh, yeah. All right, now you're just insulting me. Come on now. Must be better than Saeed. Anyway, so I've kind of got off all the petty stuff off my chest. I've dissed the admin. I've dissed the whole rules of away goals still standing, which, by the way, I have no problem with now that we got 2 away goals. If we didn't, though, best believe I'd make a massive deal out of it. Now it's time to get on to what was a really good result. I wouldn't say the performance was good, but it wasn't as good as the Atletico Madrid performances. There was still a lot of, I'd call it a leaky tap from the West Brom game, you know? Yes, the West Brom game, the tap was just on and water was just gushing out and kind of nearly flooded the kitchen in that 5 goals abysmal performance. But today it was just leaking and we didn't concede. So obviously the plumber came in time and fixed it, but there was still shots on goal. And I was still very nervous at times. They was cutting through us. There was 12 shots from Porto, 6 from us. So that doesn't tell me that we controlled the game despite the scoreline. But before we get into the defensive performance and just what everybody makes of the way that we played, the finishes. We already spoke of Chilwell doing up Fernando Torres. Now we have to speak about Mason Mount, who's basically our striker. And this is why I don't want him dropped into the double pivot. People keep talking about it. Oh, Mason Mount should drop deeper and, you know, Jorginho, Italian stripper and whatever. He got man the match. So I'm just saying. You're waiting for Sawyer slander and they're not impressed. Kovacic continues to do great things. If I pronounced it wrong, screw you, I don't care. And Dante is back. He's on the bench. So it looks like he's not going to miss the 4 games that Miz predicted on the podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, Miz, you were close. You were close.
I was close. Yeah. He didn't start though. He didn't start. So no jerseys for you guys.
Yeah, God. And yes, I have seen the Tammy report to West Ham. We're going to leave that to the end because it just doesn't segue in smoothly. And you know how I like a smooth operation. But Mount has scored a clinical finish. He turned the defender, leaving another person on their backside, just like
beautiful.
Atletico. Camavinga, João Felix, they can all gather around and have a little huddle and speak about how Mason Mount left them for dead. What a finish. Right in the bottom corner, tucked inside netting like Harry Kane against Newcastle. Talk to me, Younes. What the fuck was that?
Mate, it was beautiful. And, you know, I think, you see the pivot he done, the 180 pivot? I think it's so underrated as a move in football. Because what it does in half a second is it just exposes so much space to you. You know, instead of getting the ball, having to turn and then look, just one motion done, and it just wins you so much time. And I don't feel like many players actually use it as much as I think they used to. You know, it should be a very common thing in English football. It's taught at grassroots. It's taught when you're playing and you're a kid. Like, it's one of the fundamentals. So to see Mason Mount pull it off so well on that stage, knowing that he had a defender next to him and he managed to get round and the timing was spot on. And this finish, instinct, just pure instinct. And we've been screaming for some instinct, man. You know, how many times do we take the ball into the box and we just keep going and we try to just get as close to the goal as possible? But no, Mason was just like, look, I saw him. He looked up, picked the spot, put it there. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it cements the reason why Mason Mount is as effective as he is, why he means so much to our midfield, to our attacking force, and why he will be picked for England by Gareth Southgate when we go to the Euros.
I mean, that is not even up for discussion. I don't know. I don't even understand how people could possibly think he wouldn't be going to the Euros. Like, we've already accepted that Southgate had a very big reliance on him under Lampard, and he was praising him to the high heavens, and a lot of people slagged him off for that. It's probably one of the only things he's actually got right, other than putting James ahead of Trent.
That's definitely happening.
And then, like, why is that even in question? Of course he's going to Europe. He's actually going to be starting the games most likely. So I think he's been incredible. And he did tell us he was going to work on his finishing, and he didn't lie. The finishes
didn't lie.
And this game as well, unbelievable. Miz, what did you make of him? And what do you make of his development? Because a lot of people are trying to say that this is because of Tuchel, and I think they're doing that because they want to change their opinion. And you can just do that. You don't have to pretend like as if he wasn't playing well the whole season. You can just change it. Just change your opinion.
Look, man, for me, I think Mason Mount is Thomas Tuchel's MVP. He's Thomas Tuchel's most valuable player. There's no doubt about that. When you look at the forward pack, so just taking aside the defense for a second, for the time being, if you look at the forward pack from midfield to the strikers and the wingers, the first name Thomas Tuchel probably thinks about putting into the team is Mason Mount. I'm pretty sure he probably wanted Mason Mount to play against West Brom as well. But since he had already played 3 games under Gareth Southgate for England, he was forced not to play Mason Mount. So I'm pretty sure he would have played that match too. So that's a bit from that side. In regards to his development, it's been immense. You can see last season as well, he was growing game by game, needed that break around the January period, came back stronger. This season, once again, Frank Lampard, in the earlier parts of the season, he was Frank's most trusted player like last season. And he was the only player, I would say, during that calamitous December and January, he was probably the only player that actually tried to save Frank Lampard. And the team as well. He was the only one who was actually trying to do something about changing the things. I still remember that goal that he scored against Fulham, which allowed for a little bit more time for Frank Lampard. And obviously, when Tuchel came in, the first thing that happens is Thomas Tuchel doesn't play him the very first game. And we all sat here and we all said, and especially myself, I said that maybe we know that Mount is a great player, but technically is something that Thomas Tuchel will want a lot from him. But boy, oh boy, Mount has surpassed Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, and Ziyech this season. He's absolutely surpassed them and has gone straight past them. All of that sort of issues about, what's going to happen to Mason now when all of these players come in? I can't picture him starting for us. Well, you better think again. We can't think about a starting lineup without Mason Mount. Do you know what I mean? So This is a testament of the caliber of player this kid is, and he's 22. Let's just deep that for a second. He's 22, and he's on course to be Chelsea Player of the Season, unless something miraculous happens with other players. But
I honestly don't think he'll let anything happen. That's the thing with this kid. He seems inevitable. Like my point is that I don't like to look at GA as a way of judging a player, because I think GA. Yeah. There's always context around it. Like if you're scoring the 5th goal in a 5-0 win and you didn't play well, how much does that mean in comparison to a winner at Anfield? How much does that mean in comparison to a winner at Fulham when Lampard just before he was sacked? How much does that mean with the first goal against Porto and then Sheffield United again? With the cutback. So he is deciding games. That is the key here. He is the difference maker. And I keep saying this, when you're playing Jorginho and Kova, it was very similar to that win in Amsterdam under Lampard when Tomori played and, Ziyech was Cruyff turned, and it was a really good performance out there. Mason Mount played that game with that double pivot of Jorginho and Kova with that back three. And I think when Mason Mount plays in those half spaces, he is very energetic. His movement is very, it's very helpful to the likes of Jorginho and Kova, who then want to find those quick passes into the half spaces and in between the lines. And it's a lot easier for me, when he's on the pitch, because he brings the energy defensively. I've said it before, if there is a turnover in possession, he'll get back and make it a 3-man midfield and make it more solid. So it's not just a double pivot. I've seen Mason Mount many times before track back and be on the edge of his own box defending. Did it actually against West Brom. I think he made one mistake for one of the goals, gave the ball away, but he was in the screenshot when you're looking at one of the goals. He is on the edge of the area. And again, when you look at, for me, then going forward, he is always fantastic on the turn, as we just saw. Brilliant on taking the ball on and progressing it quickly. Wi-Fi wants to move dodgy. There's that.
Here we go.
Explained earlier. Maybe
everyone's got issues.
We got the Wi-Fi issues again.
2021, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't make me vlog again and go out there and see the real. I swear.
Younes is the last one standing.
I'm the last one standing, man.
maybe I should just
Shout out to Vodafone.
Yeah, maybe I should. Oh, here comes, look at this. Supermarket Wi-Fi, chicken shop Wi-Fi, McDonald's Wi-Fi. These guys do not rest. They're so quick with it. I just like to see how creative their names can get. It's maybe
big up,
Miz is just like this.
Big up Chicken Cottage Wi-Fi, man. Chicken Cottage.
You know when Mount did that celebration and he just moved over to Chilwell like this. Maybe Miz just got his Wi-Fi and just went straight over to me. And I caught it, harnessed it. Now I'm running with it. It's mad. But I don't even remember the point I was making. The point is that Mason Mount is very important to this team. That is the point.
Mason Mount is very good. That's the point.
Yeah, he's very good at football.
I do want to add something though. I feel like I know he's playing a bit further up now under Thomas Tuchel, but I'm not trying to compare here between when he was under Frank Lampard this season and now, but he seems to be a lot more potent up front as well. Like there was that issue just in the beginning time with Thomas Tuchel where he was taking a lot of shots and they were skying over the top. But now, in recent times, as you said, Matisse, he's gone out there and he said he wants to work on his finishing. Man, some of these shots. There was that left foot finish. Who was that against? Was that against Spurs when he scored?
Sheffield United. Sheffield United. When he arrived in the box.
Yeah. Sheffield United. And obviously this one, there was that Liverpool. Oh, wow. That Anfield finish. Honestly, that was glamorous. That was very, very good. So, I mean, could Timo Werner and whoever else, Kai Havertz or Ziyech, could they take some tips off him? Maybe go out there and learn something from this youngster now and just see what he's up to, because he's doing everything right.
Yeah, and I mean, this segues nicely into this question, I guess, because of the midfield. People are saying, do you guys think we need to strengthen in midfield? Yes, in my opinion, we need to get a DM, but I've heard we're linked to, the guy AC Milan, the Brazilian midfielder. Look, these links for me are not strong enough to talk about. Yes, I've seen them. The club have probably scouted the Brazilian midfielder, but it hasn't gone any further than that. That's what Fabrizio Romano said. I'm not going to pretend to say that I've watched him. I don't know how many of you guys have actually watched this Gabriel Merino guy. And I'm not talking about comps, all right? I'm not talking about comps. Because Gabriel...
Bro, I only heard about him yesterday. I literally just heard about him yesterday. I did not even know this existed.
Yeah, I know we've all seen that long shot that flies into the top corner, but outside that, do we actually know this guy? So, look, I have no idea who he is, but yeah, even if he does join, I don't know if he'll be for the first team like that. I think he'll probably go straight into the under-23s, and we already know where it goes from there, straight over to Vitesse with you. Another person that had a really good game. Like I said, it's funny now because I don't want to keep bashing Trent just because it's been amusing to compare him to Reece James over the last couple of days. I actually do like Trent. I just think he's slightly overrated when Liverpool fans were calling him generational. I think they've kind of had to come back a peg or two. I don't think it's a coincidence that this season he's been defensively awful when you take out Van Dijk, take out Matip and some of his covers. And I think a right back does need to be competent defensively. And from what I saw, he's not. So he's a very attacking fullback. Yes, good going forward outside the banner. But defensively, he's absolutely shambolic, positionally and awareness-wise. And Reece James is not.
we saw Jamie Carragher, Gary Neville. Did you see that on that show that they done? Yeah. And Gary Neville was rightfully just criticizing the way that Trent Alexander-Arnold's been playing, and his mannerisms as a fullback. Gary Neville would know because he was a flipping top fullback. Let's have it right. Jamie Carragher was kind of protecting him, but away from Gary Neville on CBS with Michael Richards, Jamie Carragher. Rightfully, and I think with Alex Scott, Jamie Carragher said the same thing. And, in accordance with what Gary Neville said, I just don't think Jamie Carragher likes to admit in front of Gary Neville because, it's them two and Liverpool United and banter and all that. But Jamie Carragher agreed. I saw Ashley Cole come on Twitter and reply to the clip that Jamie Carragher was talking about, and he said the same thing. Alexander-Arnold needs to lower his center of gravity a little bit more. There's certain things and there's certain, things that he can do with his body to just help his game, which he's not doing. Reece James, though, on the other hand, is just absolutely solid now, man. We had that doubt at the beginning of the season that James defensively was a little bit suspect, you know, going forward, fantastic, crosses into the box, strength, great, but letting players past him. And now he's fixed that. Trent hasn't. So, you know, Trent in the mud, which is a nice comment that I've just seen. And Reece James is going to the Euros as well.
Yeah. It's like this. It's like this, Younes. I mean, the whole thing. Do you remember the first season for us? We all thought, okay, you know, he's made some. There was some performances where we were like, oh wow, you know, he's really pulled us out of a bit of a mess. But there were certain players that found that weakness in the first season from opposition side of things, and then in the second season they really exploited that Kepa's issues. You know, long range shots, not commanding in the box. I think this season, Leeds were the first team to exploit Trent Alexander-Arnold's issues, and then it became very obvious for everyone. Aston Villa then took that exploitation to a different level and absolutely pulled his pants down, right? Yeah. And then from there, I think everyone just got on the bandwagon and realized that this guy has epic deficiencies in defense. He doesn't know, in regards to his awareness when he's tracking back. He doesn't know where his line is, and he's not in sync. But moving forward, he's very good. He's got great delivery. He's still a goal threat and whatnot. But Reece James, as you mentioned, Younes, he's fixed up his defending side of things massively. I was very critical about his defense last season. There were a few times where he was just easily beaten, dribble past, or he was just a bit naive. But this season, time in, time out, man, the way he throws every player around like it's a rag doll, it's crazy, man. I'm glad that he's improved that, because you can improve on the attack.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not trying to say Reece James is perfect. I'm just trying to make it very clear that Reece James is more complete. And I don't think the gap in terms of who you're picking is as big as other people want to make out between Trent and Reece. Some people act like as if Trent is just like light years ahead of Reece in terms of ability, and there's no chance and there's nothing to debate in terms of who should start. It's very clear to me, for me, that I would start Reece right now on international level. I think he's the more balanced fullback. Yes, he has things to improve. I'm not even at the moment still at right wing back. Still not my favourite position for him. I'd love to see him at right side of centre back. Everybody knows this. Aspie's been a little bit up and down in some games. He's made a few errors. Nearly gave away a penalty against Atletico. There's moments where I feel like Aspie doesn't always need to play and we need to manage him. And I feel like, I would like to see Reece James in that position, tucked in at right side of centre back. But you can say we're overreacting, but he has been poor all season. You can argue that when Liverpool were at their best over the last few years, the system definitely does help him, because he doesn't play that well for England in comparison. Not that the manager's any good. And like I keep saying, he's actually always been defensively suspect, but because of Van Dijk and Matip and all these guys covering for him, we haven't seen it. Take them out of the team, and suddenly now he's not capable defensively. And I don't need to show you Trent's defensive errors, because Mason Mount already showed it when he scored at Anfield. He came from that side. So I'm just saying to you, if a right back can't defend as badly as he's been defending this season, he's always going to be up for discussion with other players. So don't pretend like Trent is just like light years ahead of anybody, because if you can't defend, then you get dragged into conversations. That's how it should be. The modern game is all about attacking, fantastic. But at the end of the day, you still need to be able to defend in a back four. Luckily for Trent, England play a back three, so wing back might relieve him of some responsibility. But I think Reece James has been brilliant. And maybe even Trent should move position. I'd like to see him potentially even in midfield at some point. If Dortmund demand Mount as part of Haaland trade, no. So there you go. That's
why would Dortmund want to do that?
Like,
why would Dortmund do that?
That don't make sense for Dortmund. FIFA. That don't make sense.
This is not FIFA. First of all, Dortmund, they're not going to get Mount. Mount doesn't want to play for Dortmund, so there's no point. Like,
they've got Marco Reus, man. They're good.
It's not even that. It's not even that they don't need him. It's just Mount does not want to play for Dortmund, so that doesn't work. So even if we used to say, go on, we'll take Haaland in trade for Mount. Go ahead, Mason. Go and chat to Dortmund. Mason would just be like, no. And then what? So, you know, you can't just ship someone off and then be like, yeah, right, you're going there. They have to actually agree personal terms. And from the moment that the personal terms and he looks at Dortmund, he says, right, where's the Chelsea badge? Oh, right, okay, bye. Do you know what I mean?
You know what? I like this is that one was a bit
that's just too unrealistic for my brain to.
You just know that Mount is the sort of lad that's going to stay at Chelsea for his whole career.
Yeah,
easy.
Yeah.
Like
he the way that dream of playing for Real Madrid and all these things.
The way that he's playing at the moment, and he's a first team starter. He's only getting better. He's 22. I mean, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing his retirement in 15 years' time when he hangs it up and does a speech at Stamford Bridge, just like John Terry.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't know if this is a personal decision, but I've actually decided, people, that I'm not going to bring up Timo Werner today. Now, some of you may celebrate, but the reason why I'm not going to do it is because I feel like we've.
Oh no!
Werner's hacked into his Wi-Fi. Werner's hacked into his Wi-Fi. He's like, you can't speak about me like this. Hack the Wi-Fi.
Timo Werner, shout out to Timo Werner for watching all you can eat Chelsea.
We've spoken. Do you know what it is? Yeah, I don't like repeating myself, and I feel like we've spoken about him so often. Definitely spoken about him after that North Macedonia game. I feel like we should all be, hopefully, I mean, unless anybody's going to disagree with what I'm about to say, but I don't feel like he deserves to start. I feel like Pulisic, you know, had an upwards trajectory of form after that man of the match performance before the international break. Got the goal just before he got injured as well. Didn't look like the guy that should be coming off. Timo Werner was actually going to be subbed before the hamstring injury. Ziyech looked like he was coming up trumps as well with a couple of decent performances before the international break. Hudson-Odoi can be played behind the striker as well. This is a very competitive position. And I feel like the way that he's been playing, shouldn't be starting, should be on the bench and should be coming on as someone that makes an impact on the counter-attack if we're winning. Does anybody disagree? Anybody?
I've just seen the comment saying your decision to not talk about sorry, wrong comment. This is in the mud. You said you wouldn't bring Timo up and continue to do it.
No, I'm just putting it in a bow because then people will be like, all right, cool, that's done. Because I feel like if I ask you guys and we have a big conversation about it, there's no point because we've already spoken about it. So if you agree with that.
The crazy part is, guys, it's so difficult not to talk about him because it's clear as daylight that he's struggling. So completely agree with you, Matisse. I don't want to go deep into it because I get harassed on my channel as well for talking down on Timo Werner and everyone, you know, gets on the back of me. But you're right, Matisse. I completely back you. He needs to be in the bench and he needs to probably even have a break. Probably doesn't even need to be on the bench. Just go away for 4 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever.
Exactly.
Just forget about football, mate. Just forget about football because every time he steps into the pitch and he doesn't score, the pressure keeps mounting. And I don't know if that's good for him.
He needs a holiday, man. It's like send him off on holiday. Done. Because he's clearly in his head. You know, we saw it yesterday with a couple of mistakes. Just send him off on holiday. And then come back new.
Younes, he's dribbling without the ball.
Hey, I'm not discussing. I'm not.
Yeah, just left the ball behind, bro.
I prefer not to speak. I really do. Like I said, you already know my thoughts. You know where he should be in my squad. You know I'm going to put him in my preview for this Palace game, and that's that. Who I want to give some, because I only want to talk about good things right now. I feel like I've spoken enough on this man. Everybody knows my thoughts, so I won't keep giving it. One thing I will do though is I'll speak about Mendy because he made some important saves. He made some really important saves, and you know, people maybe don't give him the credit he deserves this season because we haven't conceded a lot of shots on goal under Tuchel and he hasn't had a lot of work to do. But he's still, for me, outside the West Brom game, you know, everybody was just awful. In big moments, he is showing that he can be a very, you know, good goalkeeper, someone that is ready for the big moments despite not having much to do. Concentration is at a high level, and he saved us at times. What did you guys make of him? And because he was up there for man of the match, really, between him, James, and Mount. They gave it to Jorginho, which I just found funny, but it's all good.
Yeah, they did.
Honestly, I've been praising Mendy after each clean sheets. I've been tweeting about him because I feel like every time the match week finishes or a particular match finishes, we see this, you know, the Donnarumma sort of rumors surface up, and I think it's time us as a fan base, and we need to really realize this, and we sometimes don't take this seriously. Like, for example, Matisse, you've got nearly 60,000 followers and nearly 12,000 people in YouTube. Younes has got 60,000+ in YouTube, and he's got close to 30,000 in Twitter, and also shout out to Younes, obviously your watch along, man. Wow, that was delish earlier yesterday.
Thank you.
Or late yesterday, earlier for me. So we need to realize as a fan base that we have a lot of control about these sort of things, because it is the era of social media. So I know all of these rumors come out from journalists and transfer people, but we can change the narrative by saying we are happy with Mendy. We want to keep Mendy. He's number one. And us as a fan base are very happy with Mendy, and we need to drive that. And not many people are going out there driving it, because, to be honest, he truly deserves it. He was amazing against Porto. Big saves, commanding again. And even that shot, do you guys remember that Luis Diaz's shot, how he takes it and then snapshots it? Mendy sees the shot all the way through, has his hand out. So if it was on target, he would have saved that as well.
He would have saved it.
Do you know what I mean? Even though it wasn't on target. So for me, Mendy is our number one keeper and should be the number one next season.
Yeah, and in the Champions League, I think someone said it, clean sheets wise, I think he's top of the pile. That's now another clean sheet in the Champions League. His Champions League record this season, I think he's only conceded one goal.
Conceded one.
Yeah, I think we kind of blew it on the Premier League race for the Golden Glove after conceding 5. So we might have blown it there. But definitely when it comes to the Champions League, he's still in the running. Someone said here you can't turn down. Zippy said you can't turn down Donnarumma on the free. I definitely get where you're coming from, and I won't even. I can't really disagree with you because he is free. I would say though that nothing is free in this world, and Raiola certainly isn't free. That agent fee that he's going to stick on him is not going to be free. So you will be paying for him. So when people say that Donnarumma is free, he's technically not free. You're still putting money out there. You're just putting it somewhere else. That's not the transfer fee. It's still going to be a cost for the club. What you do have is you have a free run at him, which is not something that you usually get. You don't have to worry about dealing with a club. So you have a free run at Donnarumma. And I think really only us and PSG would be considering him as a goalkeeper in terms of looking at that position in the squad, despite Mendy's great performances. But I'd be surprised if Chelsea were to get 2 players on Raiola's books in Haaland and Donnarumma. So that's something as well that you guys got to think about, because Raiola, as we've seen, right, I think it's incredible that an agent can go around on this European tour like Miley Cyrus, and he's going to Madrid, then he's going to Barcelona, and he's going to London, and everybody knows about it. By the way, this player is contracted at Dortmund, and that's how he's behaving. Like, that's not normal. And I think if it was happening at our own club, everybody here would be like, what the like, what? Yeah. Like, we know this stuff takes place, but it's not usually made so public. And it's kind of disrespectful to Dortmund, because he's just made this assumption that they're selling him this summer, even though he's technically still contracted. So we might all think it's great, and Raiola's on tour, and where is he performing next? This is a great little world tour that we're on. Where can we get tickets? And come and talk to us. It's all fun and games for us because we don't own the player. But if we own the player and he's doing this while he's at Chelsea, a lot of fans are going to see this as extremely disrespectful. And I've seen the way some Man United fans have looked at Pogba because of the agent. It's not going to be a walk in the park if this is how he's going to behave when he's a Chelsea player, whether that be Haaland or Donnarumma. So I wouldn't get into bed with Donnarumma with too many of these players. There's a reason why we've avoided him up until this time. And I think for Haaland, it's definitely worth negotiating. But that's because our strikers are just absolutely piss poor. Is the goalkeeper piss poor enough to then get a second Raiola player? That's the debate a lot of the fans need to have with themselves. And like I said as well, his wages are going to be ridiculous as well. Let's make that very clear, because he's on ridiculous wages already at AC Milan. He can't agree a new deal because he wants even more wages, I think. Or maybe it's about football reasons. I'm not sure. But he's going to be on ridiculous wages at Chelsea. So none of this can happen anyway without Kepa leaving. And I mean leaving, not,
Yeah.
So So that's another thing to discuss.
I've got a question for both of you guys just on this particular topic. Just quickly, in regards to Raiola moving mad, I wouldn't be surprised if Dortmund's actually given him the green light to say, go out there, mate, just go shop. And
I was just about to say, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Dortmund's actually given him the green light. But in regards to Donnarumma, a question for both of you guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say. How often has it worked in a big club like Chelsea or anywhere else where you have two number ones? Let's face it, Donnarumma's not coming in as a backup. He'll also want the number one jersey. Mendy definitely has now claimed that he is number one. And Thomas Tuchel has made it very certain a couple of weeks back when he said, this is the one position I want utmost clarity. I don't want any confusion in this particular position. I need to know who my number one is. And he said right now the number one is Mendy. Can you imagine when Donnarumma comes in and there's that confusion? And it's not a position where you want to rotate much. You don't want to rotate a goalkeeper. Oh, I'll give him the rest this game. I'll play them. So let me know, what do you guys think? Can we actually have two excellent keepers? Because Peter Cech and Porto didn't work.
I mean, the only look with Donnarumma, I mean, Matisse makes a good point, obviously, with his wages, Raiola, this, that, and the other. As a joke, we could buy Donnarumma and just sell him. We could get him on a free, and then all right, he's on the transfer list for 80 million. You know,
ruthless.
Easy money. No, but look, yeah, having two number one goalkeepers will probably be an issue. Mendy right now, he's been fantastic, and yesterday's game, and I said it during the game. For such a big lad, for such a tall lad, he moves about like a cat. You know, his reflexes and his agility is through the roof. It baffles me how someone of that size can move as quick as him. Yeah. Petr Cech, I think, has pulled an absolute gem. Yeah, right now, and I think Mendy could be a goalkeeper that we look at for the long run. To try and change that, Donnarumma would probably obviously come in and try to be number one. I personally, it just doesn't sit well with me. I know Donnarumma on a free, you can't say no to. But if we still had Kepa as number one, I'd be all over it. Yeah. But with Mendy as number one, I'm hesitant. I just think it's not worth the wages. The trouble with Raiola for a player that we can't guarantee as number one goalkeeper, you know, albeit as good as Donnarumma is, I just feel like we have all we need in Mendy. You know, how many goals are we conceding? Forget West Brom. How many goals are we conceding? You know, I look at yesterday in his performance, you know, in terms of the defense, and the moment they leak something, Mendy's there to clear up shop, but he's just so reliable. What more do you want in a goalkeeper? You know, there's not more you can have in a goalkeeper unless if he's not conceded at all, you know, and he's saving literally every shot. And the day he lets in a goal, the world ends. That is the only way we get better than Mendy right now. So it's just, there's not much point to get a goalkeeper that's going to be a number one when we have Mendy at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like people always look at the grass is green on the other side. But for me, Mendy's delivering right now. Yes, he's got a mistake in him, like some people are saying, but every goalkeeper's got a mistake in them. And he's been solid this season. I love the story, to be honest. I mean, I'm in love with the story. This Man City fan, I didn't want to put anybody on blast. I really didn't. But you know where you are, right? This is not a normal channel. This is not a normal stream. I will put you on blast if I have to. I don't know why. Because the badge, from what I can see in your profile on YouTube, your badge, to my memory, hasn't lifted the champion title yet. To memory. So look at that hack. Look at the hacking. They don't want me to talk. It's like Kevin De Bruyne. Let me talk. They don't want me to talk. To my recollection, that badge has not lifted the Champions League yet. To my recollection, when it does, maybe then, and only then, will I accept you talking down on my club about getting knocked out. You're on the more difficult.
Bro, they might get knocked out by Dortmund. They might get knocked out by Dortmund.
They could. They could.
Forget Dortmund. If they get past Dortmund, PSG are looking mighty tasty. Yeah. So
they are.
Mbappe and and Neymar, listen, I think you should worry about your side of the draw. Worry about your side of the draw. We've got Eden Hazard, you know, on the other side of the draw that will look after us, hopefully, and do some sort of juju. You worry about your side of the draw. You please worry about that. Because I don't remember Man City getting to a final of the Champions League. So just very much worry on your team. And we'll worry about our team. And like I said, we're going to see you in a couple of weeks anyway in the Cup. Not that I'm confident in or anything.
I mean, Man City, all due respect, never made it past. Have they ever made it past a Champions League quarterfinal?
They made it to a semi-final.
They made it to a semi, haven't they?
Do you know who they lost to? You know who they lost to, ironically, right? Hilarious. Real Madrid. So shut up.
No, you know, look, in regards to that comment, yeah, because when we got Atletico, many were saying, "Oh, Atletico are going to knock you out. You're going to get destroyed." We disposed of them. They're gonna, and then they said, "Oh, Porto, they ain't mugs. They're gonna, they're gonna do a job." Well, we're 2-0 up, 2 away goals, heading to the semi-final. Then they're gonna say Real Madrid, and then they'll say the final. It is what it is. Look, here's what to take from it. Yeah, the quote: first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win.
I just find it funny that the team that they actually got knocked out to in the semi was Real Madrid. That's hilarious. And Spurs did get to a final before you, and that's never funny either. Anyway, we'll move on.
But you know what, Matisse? I do appreciate other clubs, fans coming into this channel and watching Chelsea content. Keep that,
of course.
up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And while you're at it, smash the like button. If you're enjoying it, smash that like button.
You know what? Yeah, I've just read here, guys. We are getting. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know who these people are. Okay, you could have said you honestly could have said.
I reckon these are made up names.
You could have said John Robertson or John Richardson from down the street, outside Tesco in Ladywell, Borough of Lewisham.
No.
I would have believed you that we're linked with them. I don't know who these people are.
Mate, have you seen that 17-year-old João Pablo Santos Vieira who plays for Santos?
But are you making this up?
Surprisingly not. It's like, do you know what? Yeah, I don't know how these. Maybe I'm not watching enough European football, but we get linked to someone and suddenly everybody knows about him. I'm just like, well, why was his name not mentioned before then? Why no? If he's so good, then why did nobody say let's get him before we was linked?
Matisse, I literally saw the other day, maybe a couple of days ago, when I was on my holiday during Easter. I saw someone talking so deeply about that Gabriel Menino guy, and I wanted to reply to him and say, have you actually been watching? You're actually watching the Brazilian league. You are actually watching that league. Like, he was talking in such in-depth knowledge about his brother. Like, he has followed him ever since he was born, from the favelas and seeing his growth and all of that. I don't know, man. I honestly, Gabriel.
If I had time to watch Ajax on a weekly basis, because that's what you need to do if you're I mean, yeah, they play Champions League, but that's not really enough games for me to say someone's like we should sign them. If you're gonna watch them on a week-to-week basis in the Dutch league, or you're gonna watch the Brazilian league where the other brother's from. If I was watching those leagues, I wouldn't be making streams for you guys because I wouldn't have the time. I really wouldn't.
That's so funny.
There's 24/7 glued to some sort of football. What are you watching today, Matisse? I'm watching FC20.
I'm gonna check out the Ukrainian FC just in case.
FC20.
Just in case. Just if you never know, there might be someone lurking in the water. I barely get enough time to even keep up what's going on in the top 5 European leagues.
Bro,
you're asking for too much outside that.
Chelsea games are the only games I get to watch. I don't have the luxury like you guys at least get to watch some other Premier League games. Chelsea's enough for me. Like, my missus will just kick me out of the house if I'm watching any more games than that. Like, literally, she'll be like, get out of here. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't know how people are fitting in all these other leagues.
Yeah. Some of the guys are saying Football Manager. I used to play Football Manager, but I had to stop, This channel is my main priority, people, Yeah. I can't book in these top quality journalists if I'm too busy pissing about in the Eredivisie. we are all Americans and we all are new to soccer. You that's your first warning. Do you understand? That's your first. Yeah, that is your first warning.
That word is never said here.
But you know what, boys? This guy's pushing the limits, and he knows how to do it as well. He's doing it through super chats. He's pushing the limits.
True, I can't really. Crafty. Anjay says, in defense of Man City, they managed to win the league with Arsenal players. Oh, that's
Facts.
We all just, I don't know what we put in our tea this morning. But we all just calm down now with the slander. It's just getting out of hand now. I love a bit of Arsenal slander, but they are literally 10th on their knees after being slapped to Liverpool, creating rivalries with teams in the Europa League, saying, "Oh, we're gonna get revenge on Olympiacos." It's just, let's just. At some point now, we gotta just park the bus with this Arsenal slander. It's getting out of control. I do it just out of, it's just a gag reflex at this point. It's just ridiculous.
I'm flipping. I mean, Nasri, Adebayor, Clichy. I mean, wow.
Oh,
wow.
Nasri. It's painful.
Nasri of all players, because Arsenal hate Nasri. Kolo Touré. Was he? Did he win the? He might have.
He
did, didn't he?
Kolo Touré as well.
Yeah.
So to wrap up on, because like I said, we was only going to mention the highlights of the performances. I'm not going to dwell on any negatives because we did win 2-0. Last super chat before I move on to a different segment. Before the quarterfinal draw, I was hoping for Real Madrid, but after seeing them carve up Liverpool, I'm getting worried about the semis. Casemiro versus Jorginho battle. I prefer not to speak.
No.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, right? I want to hear what you guys think about who you'd prefer, because like I said, and I echo what Mason Mount said. I said this on my stream yesterday. We are not through. Okay, we're not through. This is half time. I think they have two players to come back, Porto, that contribute to 40% of their goals. I don't know who the two individuals are, but bless their souls, I hope that they don't turn up. We are not through yet. We should be through, but we're not done yet. I still prefer Real Madrid, and I'll tell you why. Because Liverpool are that team in Champions League that we face so often that there is a lot of history there. And we're both quite even in terms of knocking each other out. But there is something about them that does worry me. Since we played them, we beat them 1-0, I know, and we played extremely well. But there's something, I don't know what it is, about Liverpool. It's something I don't like. I don't know what it is. I know a lot of people say you don't want Real Madrid.
They'll beat us on penalties.
You know what? Maybe I don't want Real Madrid. But we haven't played Real Madrid since like 1998. So I kind of want to play them. It does kind of kill it that we are going to be playing at their training ground and not the Bernabeu. I think we're probably going to end up getting Real Madrid. I don't know what it is about Liverpool. I don't really like. I don't know. I feel like the fact that we're favourites for Liverpool and everybody expects us to win now because it's Liverpool, and that doesn't sit right with me. But yeah, what about you guys? Who would you prefer if we get through?
I look. Putting the two together based on how they've played recently and how they played against each other, I prefer Liverpool as we've disposed of them recently anyway. I do think, especially, us being quite familiar with them. I know they're quite familiar with us, but they're just not on it. We've seen Liverpool, they're just not on it. Defensively, they're all over the place, man. So yeah, I would prefer Liverpool, but I'm not scared of Real Madrid. Even watching that game, I don't think, and I said, it's not testament to how good Real Madrid were on the night. It's testament to how poor Liverpool were defensively, man. They were all over the place. Real Madrid literally had, talk about motorways. They had the M1 literally open to go and score. Real Madrid capitalized. They were opportunistic. They played well. Don't get it twisted. Real Madrid played well. They didn't make any mistakes, but Liverpool, they didn't really do much, man. And even so, they scored. They got an away goal. Do you know what I mean?
If I'm being honest, Jota, Mane, and Salah worries me more than Benzema, Vinicius, and Asensio, whoever they play out on the right. So, I mean, if Hazard's fit, cool. But I feel like we can have a word with him prior to the match.
We can have a word with him.
Even so, I don't think, as much as we love him and we know how good of a player he is, I don't think, because of his injury troubles, I don't think he'll keep up with us.
Yeah.
I don't think his body will allow him to.
I don't even think he'll be fit. To be honest.
Yeah. You just sit him down and say, listen, do you really want to do this, Hazard?
Exactly. and then we look at Timo and we're licking our lips like.
Yeah, it's like Do you know what it is? Yeah, Liverpool we've played before. I'll take any of them. We're on the better side of the draw, even though it's still going to be a difficult tie regardless, because we're no favourites for this. We are the underdogs as well, and I like to keep it like that. This is the good side of the draw, so I'm not really complaining who we get. But there's something about Real Madrid that I want to face. You know, Benzema calling Giroud a go-kart, Thibaut Courtois ditching Chelsea to go to their club, Eden Hazard. You know, like I said, have a word with him. Do you really want to do this? You've seen the love on social media, all those goals you scored. Remember that? You remember that video where you nearly cried? Europa League where you left? Really? You really want to do this, Eden? Think about it. No, you
know what it is. You know that Shawn Michaels Sweet Chin music to Ric Flair, and just before he did it, he told him "I'm sorry," and then just hit him with a sweet chin. That is what we're gonna have to do if Eden Hazard chooses to play. Advise him to sit on the bench. Like, Eden, you don't want this. Sit on the bench, mate.
It's just like I just look at Eden. I think you're a nice guy. You know, just I don't know. Have some burgers the night before. Really go for it. Go to that buffet and just kill it. You know, eat.
You know what, Matisse? I wouldn't mind seeing Hazard because I really want Reece James to put it on. I want Reece James to showcase him that I'm the up-and-coming right back or the right-sided player, and I'm going to show you up, and that'd be an interesting sort of matchup. I completely agree with you guys that for me, you know, Liverpool is probably the one that I wouldn't mind facing at the moment in the sense that they're shambles at back. So we've recently beaten them. We seem to have the know-how of how to tackle them. But at the same time, look, I don't care. You know, we're going to have to beat one of them to go through. So it doesn't really matter. Real Madrid are not at their best at the moment either. So, you know, first of all, we need to go through Porto. As you said, Matisse, the two players, Sergio Oliveira and Mendy Taremi, they're very, very good players. And so, you know, you throw those two back into this Porto team and all the amount of chances that they created in the first half and in the second half, you know, this isn't over yet.
Yeah. I'm just trying to picture if Hazard was to score the winner, this fan base would actually cry, like fully.
Fully.
But in turn, an own goal wouldn't go amiss either. Just a little tap in from Eden, back post, slices his kick, whatever you want. Little grin, Chelsea shin pads just under the socks, little wink, whatever you want. Like I said, we're gonna move on out of this game because, like I said, I think we mentioned all the positive performance. You know, you had Reece, you had Mount, you had Chilwell's goal, Mendy. Everybody else was good. I thought Rudiger was really good as well, but they've been better. So I'll save them for another time. What was I going to speak about? It was about, I think, just a small matter of what happened last night. Because I think it would be a disservice if I didn't speak about what the hell I witnessed this morning when I looked at Mbappe and the highlights. What the hell happened over there? I mean,
mate.
What? I didn't even see the highlights of this game yet.
I couldn't believe it, man. I was lucky. I managed to have that game on, you know, beside me watching Chelsea. So I could always just have a look and see what's going on. Flipping hell, man. PSG. And, you know, after they went 2-0 up and the comeback was on, and I was like, oh, you know, Bayern Munich in the second half now, they might actually switch on. And flipping PSG get a third. That's 3 away goals, man. I mean, when not taking anything away. Yeah.
Cheat code on the counter.
Legit. I didn't expect that. They clearly missed Lewandowski. A couple of other lads. I think they could have probably been a little bit more potent up top, but PSG were ruthless, man.
Mbappe's second goal was really good. I like the way he dragged it back and nuts the defender. The first goal, though, what the hell is Neuer doing? Maybe they need to look for him. I'm actually, well, do you know what? I say that. I'm not really surprised that they're not looking at Donnarumma because they don't really go after players like that with that agent, and they're very meticulous with how they go about it. I thought Neymar was very good as well. He won't get the headlines because he didn't score, but he was brilliant, set up some great opportunities, very creative. And this is what I spoke to Lee about this. This is what separates Neymar from Mahrez for me. You know, it's that extra creativity on those nights It just
Hey,
puts
fam,
him
fam,
just
don't speak ill of Mahrez in my presence.
I knew that to trigger you. I knew that would trigger you. Surely you're going to agree with us that Neymar's better than
Yeah,
Mahrez.
of course, absolutely, man, of course.
Mahrez is like the Algerian Messi, man. You don't talk down to him like that.
Yeah.
But yesterday, Bayern Munich, I think they had like, what was it, 31 or 32 attempts? Like, they were going at it, just nothing was happening. Absolutely nothing happening.
Wow.
Yeah. They're missing Lewandowski and Gnabry, so those guys are very prolific as well. So it's, I mean, like I said, that's on the other side of the draw. So at that point, if we even get that far, I would not give a crap who we play. That's a one-off game as far as I'm concerned. Before we come towards the close, there is a very interesting topic that they wanted us to address in the chat, and I said I'd save it until later. It's only just popped up into my head now that I needed to remember to speak about this. I was going to completely forget. But before I do, there's the question of, will Chelsea win the Champions League? And like I said, I don't want to speak prematurely, but look, that photo,
that's beautiful.
But whoever did that
Fernando Chilwell.
It really
Shout
was.
out to whoever did that edit, man. That's amazing.
That's Aaron. That's your boy Aaron, bro.
Aaron.
Yeah, I retweeted
job,
it,
Aaron.
and I woke up this morning. I seen it on 10K. I was like, we still got the juice. It was such a so good. Chelsea stole it. Not actually. I don't know if they stole the edits, but they definitely stole the concept. So, but yeah. Absolute thieves. This admin again just continues to just rat in cages.
Mate, no,
you're not letting with the original ideas, bro.
I mean, I want to say the comparison with Torres. Yes, very similar goal, but to an extent, it could be a bit of a stretch, because Torres's goal was Barcelona, Nou Camp, 10 men. Goal to take you to the final, flipping out. Yeah. This was a first leg quarter final, second away goal. Circumstances are a bit different.
You take that logic, you get that out of here. You take that logic and you put it in the bin. We don't do logic around here. This is propaganda time, all right?
But I saw the one thing that made me chuckle was 50 million pounds has been repaid. The Torres thing.
Yes.
And Chilwell cost 50 million. It's like,
that's funny.
It's what it is.
That's funny. That is funny. I don't know if I was the first person to tweet about that, because I did tweet about that Torres and Chilwell comparison. They both cost 50 million, and then for me, I just thought to myself, 50 million repaid, isn't it? If we go on to win it now, we're gonna have to use the same logic. But the final topic is Tammy Abraham once again, and again he's another person that just continues to keep coming up. But this is not the same spin that it usually is. Obviously, he didn't play, he didn't come on. Cool, he was on the bench, which is an improvement. So we're getting there. But the thing that Simon Phillips tweeted from a very reliable source, I think it's ex-employee West Ham account,
very reliable,
so everybody knows him, very reliable, knows everything in the club.
And is even connected with Chelsea to some stories, so very well connected.
Very well connected. Maybe former Chelsea employee, who knows? He said that
ex-Chelsea, ex-West Ham employee.
Yeah. He said that Tammy Abraham is the number one target for West Ham. And it's funny because, let me just reference Toby and Lee. You guys did tell me on a London Clubs Carnage stream that Tammy couldn't play for a top 10 club in the league. I'm just saying, listen, I'm just saying that Tammy could, and Tammy could go to West Ham, and then they could move Antonio back out onto the right. Or just because, Antonio's getting a bit older, potentially it's a replacement. Anybody would take a young, proven in this league English goal scorer who you can flip for even more money, by the way, because of the English tax. Tammy is showing that he can score goals in this league. So it's a good target for West Ham. I think it's a very smart move on their part. Does that help in the deal for Declan Rice? Because it's funny, because everybody seems to think, and I'm not agreeing or disagreeing, I'm just saying, everybody seems to think because Tuchel's in charge that he's not going to go after Declan Rice. Tuchel is a fan of in-league signings, if he can find the talent in the league. With limited, we've seen what adaptation does, right? Havertz, Werner, all these guys. It wouldn't kill you to go for someone who knows the league, And by the way, he's performing well in the league. That's the key here. It's not just about being Barkley and knowing the league, or being Drinkwater and knowing the league. It's actually about being on form. And he has been one of the best DMs in the league this season. I don't think anybody will dispute that. Souček next to him has been great as well. Mark Noble came in the other day, had a blinder against Wolves. But he has been very good. And if we're playing a double pivot, that does suit him. That's a system that he does play. When people talk about lone DM, I'm like, okay, cool. But I kind of see him more as the Nemanja Matic, and I never would have played Nemanja Matic lone DM. There's a difference between a Mikel and a Declan Rice, or a Mikel and a Matic, or a Makelele and a Matic. Like, there's different types of DMs, and I feel like that's underrated. I don't think I wanted to see Matic play lone DM as much as he did in the double pivot. Double pivot, he was superb. So, yeah, he's linked with us. Tammy, potential swap. It makes sense for all parties, if I'm being honest. What do you guys make of it?
I thought the whole Declan Rice thing was dead, but now with this rumor, I think it could be back on.
Yeah.
For Chelsea hierarchy, they were very adamant of not getting this player back. But if they can somehow let go of Tammy and get in Declan Rice, that may be the sweetener for the hierarchy to say, you know what, maybe it's not as bad. Maybe there is a deal to have over here. So if we can somehow, you know, maneuver that particular transfer deal, then I'm all for it. But if we you know, simply just let go of Tammy and then we need a striker and a DM and we are struggling to get that sort of tied down, then I don't know how much I really want that sort of transfer to happen. You know what I mean? I would only really entertain it if it's a Tammy and Declan Rice with some cash or whatnot. Obviously, we'd probably have to give it a little bit more cash for Declan Rice. So I'm only happy if that eventuates. But if that doesn't, then I'm not really sure.
Shout out to Corey Kemp from the London show as well with this chat. You're gonna have to just resign, Corey, to Declan Rice leaving. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, we've all got sources. Listen, you don't work for the Byline and not get sources. You don't interview ESPN journalists and not get sources. I'm sorry. I've got ketchup and mustard to spare. Barbecue sauce, whatever you want. He is going to leave at some point. It's guaranteed. It's not up for discussion. So you're going to have to get used to it. And now, has he signed a new contract yet, Corey? No, he hasn't. Has he been flirting with Mason Mount on Instagram? Maybe a little bit. Has he met John Terry and Didier Drogba? In some capacity. No. Listen, if I say any more, I'm in big trouble. I've got more than I'm allowed to tell. Put it like that. Yeah, my mouth is already watering. Like I feel so bad for Corey. Corey knew what I knew. Oh man, I can't. Let me just. If Corey knew what I knew, I don't even have any water. If Corey knew what I knew, you'd know that he's leaving. Like, okay, he is going. Okay, water. Thank you. The liquid is needed. The Manchester clubs are interested. Chelsea are quietly interested. I know it looks like on the surface they're not because they don't want to pay. Really, that's just a way of them saying we don't want to pay 80 million. So we're going to call off and try and do this haggling shit. But everybody's interested in your player and he will go somewhere. I'm not going to say he's coming to Chelsea because we still have to make a bid, but he's going to leave. So
do West Ham fans actually think that
they don't.
And this is not a disrespect at all. I'm talking about being realistic here. Yeah. Do they actually think they're big enough to keep Rice in their club?
They know.
It's insane to think that way. Do you know what I mean? Like,
they know. I think it's just
Steve Hazard. Do you know what I mean?
It's just denial. I think it's just you know, when you don't want to admit you know it's happening, but you want to make yourself believe that it's not happening. It's just but Declan Rice, to be honest, as you said, it works for all parties, man. It works for all parties, and I would do the deal. I would absolutely do the deal. With Tammy Abraham going the other way, yes, you know, he might find form, he might find his feet, he might start banging in goals, but I think West Ham losing Rice could be detrimental to them, you know, in comparison to getting Tammy up top, if you know what I mean. Whereas with us, we're not using Tammy, let's have it right. And having Rice in the team helps us a lot. So I think the deal helps us more than it helps West Ham. And if we throw Tammy in, we won't have to pay that much money, you know? It'll just be an extra maybe 30 million on top, 40 million tops maybe to get Rice. So, yeah, man, I'd do it. And, you know, Mason Mount gets his best friend back.
The dynamic duo strikes again. I'm certainly warming up to it because I feel like we are missing that presence in midfield. Someone who has leadership skills, someone that does have a little bit more of a commanding figure in terms of his height and physicality. And if we're playing a double pivot, let's have it real. He suits that. Midfield 3 with him lone DM. Haven't seen him play it too often at West Ham, so I'd have questions. I'm not saying he can't do it, but I've seen more of him in the double pivot. Even with England, I've seen him in the double pivot. His left foot is very underrated. He's definitely a player I've warmed up to a lot. His left foot is very underrated. His passing range. So as long as the price is not stupid, I'd be on board with it. Not paying 80 million though. Let me make that very clear. If we pay 80 million, then we won't. We just won't because
we won't.
Chilwell was quoted something stupid at Leicester. We brought that down, and it's happened many other times before. I think Marina has learned not to. Well, she just doesn't take no shit. So David Gold and all these other brothers better buck their ideas up. You better take one of our players in return. That's really the only way you're going to get something out of this. If you want to, we can do a no cash and player swap deal complete. We can throw in Alonso. We can throw in Tammy. Can throw in Kepa.
Drink water.
Yeah, but you could get a whole new bench. You get a whole
Ross Barkley.
Yeah, remember Batshuayi as well. Take a look at him. Just score for Palace. Got a whole load of players, so feel free to inquire.
West Ham going to be more Chelsea reject than Arsenal.
Imagine all the wages that they'd have to pay these brothers.
But Tammy actually would represent a good deal. It's one promising player out for another, So it would actually and you'd actually be covered for the striker position for a good few years, which is a position that West Ham have struggled with for quite a long time. Antonio's kind of fit the mold now, coming in from the wing, but they've always struggled with that striker position, bringing in Andy Carroll and all these other guys as well.
And you know what, Matisse? It could be the whole Lingard sort of situation where Tammy just goes there and starts balling. So
I think Tammy would suit West Ham. I think he'd get goals. You really do, 100%. Yeah. So. Feel free to get in contact. Like I said, we're gonna wrap up. Obviously, I can't make it any more clear just how important that Palace game is at the weekend. I don't even think anybody needs to be told. I made it very clear how important the West Brom game was. The players didn't want to listen, and they came out potentially high in the first half. But it's fine. Hopefully, now you understand. Now that we're fifth, bastards. Now that we're fifth. That maybe now you understand, yes, the Premier League is important and you can't be complacent. Every team can beat every team. We've been down this road before and we need to win. It is a must-win game. If we don't win that game, we are putting ourselves in serious
We're in trouble. We're in trouble.
Yeah, we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
Yeah, because then you're really going along with Dubois' thread of finishing sixth and winning the championship. That is the only route that you can take.
I'll take it,
but you're putting a lot of pressure.
It's risk.
Yeah. Listen, if that's the route you're going to take to really mirror this 2012 thread that Dubois cooking up on Twitter, you go for it. But you better secure that FA Cup and you better secure that Champions League so we qualify. Because if we don't qualify for the Champions League this season after all of this unbeaten run and all this Haaland and all this, you can scrap all that, by the way. You ain't getting Haaland.
Yeah.
If you don't finish. So listen, that is a must win. West Ham are literally back ahead of us in the table. There should be no room for complacency.
They play Leicester as well. So, hopefully they draw. We need a draw there. That would be cool.
It's slightly infuriating.
Or Leicester win.
Ourselves in this position in the first place.
You know what? Just Leicester win. Just Leicester win, man. Honestly.
Yeah.
Just so that we can just go on top.
It's slightly infuriating me that we've put ourselves in a position where instead of trying to catch United, we're actually scrapping for Champions League again. And by the skin of our teeth, by the way, like it was last season on the last day. Slightly annoys me, but it's fine. I'll get over it. Just beat Palace. Don't take the piss again, and just wrap that game up properly, as we know you should. I said I wanted 9 points from West Brom, Palace, and Brighton. You're not gonna quite get that done. We're now aiming for a hefty 6 points because then we play West Ham, and that is a huge game. Huge. Make no mistake, that is a massive game. So.
And we play Leicester, we play Arsenal, we play Man City. Hopefully City would have won the title by then, but still.
Yeah, we have got some very difficult fixtures. And we've still got Champions League football, which West Ham don't have.
Yeah.
We've still got FA Cup football, which, Tottenham don't have. So the teams that are in and around us are focused on the one target that is Champions League football. You know, Tottenham got knocked out to Dinamo Zagreb. You know, West Ham, they're not in any cup competitions either. They're all focused on one target while we're trying to juggle three. So we're putting ourselves in a very dangerous position. Declan Rice is out for 4 weeks. So, you know, maybe that'll make a difference. But we'll see. Before we wrap up, people, make sure you smash the like button. We're going to talk about something that I just loved on YouTube the other day for the final 5 minutes before we wrap up. Miz and his vlog. Oh, lovely. It was beautiful.
That was good.
Do you know what it was? I was scrolling through my subscriptions, Miz, and I just seen, like, because obviously it's all just football, so nothing like, not saying nothing stands out, but I'm expecting to just see football. So I'm, you know, that's what I'm looking for. And I just see Miz and the camera just pans around the corner, and then it's Miz standing like he's presenting on a show of like holiday homes. And I'm like, well, this is different, isn't it? I clicked into that shit faster than ever. I said, wow, let's go. This is gonna be different, something I haven't seen before. And I go into it, and can I just say that house that you are you still there?
No, we left.
You was,
we left,
yeah, you was, because I can see
it's not.
Yeah, I can see because the location of where you film is gone back to normal and everything. That house is absolutely stunning, like stunning. From the moment you walked in through the door, stonework and 3 living. Who has 3 living rooms?
It's an amazing place, man. It's an amazing place.
As we say.
Yeah,
wait, did you freeze? He did freeze.
I was just gonna say, as we say, it's peng.
Yeah.
You might not know, but it's peng.
Peng. Peng.
It was such an amazing place, guys. I'd wake up and look outside because it was all filled with windows, like glass. It was surrounded with glass, right? So you wake up and you see the nature. First thing you'd see is just nature, and you'd see cows and horses, and then you'd see kangaroos just skipping by, and
wow.
And then you see the sunrise happening just in front of your eyes. The fog sort of setting down on the ground. And I was telling my cousins that, you know, why not do something different? I mean, there is more than football in life. Do you know what I mean? There is me as a person. So I thought it'd be interesting to showcase that. And a lot of people liked it. And as you said, Matisse, saw your comment as well. Younes commented on the previous video that I did first on the preview over there. So it was really good to get away one for the holiday. Obviously, thank you to Chelsea for the 5-2 loss that absolutely ruined that night. But besides that, it was good to be there. Do some videos from there. It was really nice.
Maybe that's why we lost. Maybe it's because you left. You came back. We beat Porto. So don't go on holiday again, mate.
It's the trick effect where he comes back to London and Arsenal can win, and then he goes to New York and they just keep losing.
Exactly.
We've come towards, unfortunately, the end of the show. I know how much you guys love it, but we'll be back next week. And like I said, this is always my go-to show if anything like breaking news happens. So not when we get linked to random players in Ajax and Brazil, but when actual breaking news happens, this is the show that I always think, right, we got to get these guys on for an emergency. So, you know, we never know what will happen in the transfer window upcoming.
For next week, because obviously we'll know if we're through to the semis or not.
Yeah.
We play on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's your schedule. Do you think we should have this next week on Thursday or the morning after the game on Wednesday?
Interesting.
Good question.
Interesting, Younes.
I could try and get that flipped.
You know what? If we make it through, like, should we have it on the Wednesday? If we lose, then we'll just stick with Thursday.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If we lose, we cancel the show. We're not coming here.
That could work. I mean, you guys let me know you guys let me know in the comments if I should do a double header, because I have London Clubs Carnage on Wednesday at 1. Should I do a double upload back to back like that, or should I flip them and try and do one on Thursday, one on Wednesday? Probably flip them, because then you're putting pressure on me to find something for Thursday.
Yeah, you'd flip it.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, it's kind of wind dependent.
It's wind dependent. It's wind dependent.
It's wind dependent.
Or it's making it through dependent.
Exactly. A 0-0 draw. I'll be talking about that all day. The channels are up on your screen now. If you didn't already know where to find us, you can find Younes on Younes Talks Football. daily uploads, daily content coming out, reviewing old predictions, which is just, I love that episode. That was hilarious. And like I said, you know what? You already know what time it is when it's Younes. Do you know what I mean? From the car rants to now, it's been a great progression. The live stream,
it's been a journey.
Yeah, as Miz said earlier, fantastic live streams. I love the graphics. There's a reason why I haven't hopped into the live watch along game, because I'm not hopping in unless my graphics are on point. I can't turn up to the party unless they're on point like that. And also, I just feel like you don't need me to do it, guys. You've got Younes. Do you know what I mean? Younes is killing it with those. So,
bro, he's the king. He's the king. He is exactly the king with watch alongs.
Exactly. And you don't sit in the king's chair. Do you know what I mean? Go and get a different chair. I'll go and get my own.
Goldbridge, we're coming for you, Goldbridge.
I don't even get a chair. I just sit down on the floor because this guy's just.
No, you get a chair. You get a chair. From the moment that you were the first person to comment under my Kepa video, slagging him off after the cup final, you get a chair, Miz. All right. Day one, ride or die OG. All right. Miz always gets a chair. So make sure you go and subscribe to Younes Talks Football. And the other side of the coin, go and check out that vlog. Go and check it out.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
Definitely. It's
a brilliant vlog, you know. There wasn't a kangaroo, unfortunately, but you got a great house. You got some cows as well. And all that kind of stuff. How they cut me off. How they cut me off. The gods are just why? Couple more minutes, people. Couple more minutes. Why do it? But yeah, go and check it out. Like I said, amazing house. If you like grand designs, or even if you got lost in IKEA as a child, you'll love it. Because I certainly did. No, that was certainly something that happened. And just before I end, I'm going to go through the long list of Wi-Fi compliments. McDonald's, KFC, Coach Wi-Fi. That's a new one. Morley's Wi-Fi, Oven Story Wi-Fi. I don't even know what that is. Free Supermarket Wi-Fi, KFC Wi-Fi, Android Wi-Fi, Set 8 Wi-Fi.
Oh, that's peak.
Wow.
I need it. Keep it coming. I do enjoy this little thing that we have here, cabin Wi-Fi. That's facts. That's actually true. That's actually true. That's literally where I am. Sainsbury's, Gift Gaff. Wow, IKEA. You guys are funny.
Pick up Gift Gaff.
Oh my gosh. Any final words from you guys before we head on out?
No, nothing really. I've actually got a stream coming up. I've got to fix up what's going on with my laptop. Lawrence coming up in the next 20 minutes of my channel. We'll just be rounding up the UCL and just talking about Mason Mount. I just want to talk about Matt Law's article about Kai Havertz. I read that. So if you want to hear some sweet chin music
for you, huh?
Oh my God, it's coming back. It's coming back.
If you want to hear some sweet chin music about Matt,
we've all got that message. We've all got that message, and it's ruthless.
I'm telling you, this guy he's going around doing some crazy stuff, and I read that article, and I've got some choice words about that article. So if you're keen to come in to my channel in about 20 minutes, you should see that.
Do you know what I might try and set up? Because Alex obviously knows Matt Law, so just give him a little nudge.
Yeah, go on, Matt. Watch this.
I would love to set up a Matt Law interview with Miz. That
you know what, Matisse,
mental.
Matisse, I actually, when he published that article straight after the match, because the first thing he talked about was Kai Havertz needing to be in the bench, and he had all these reasonings and why not. I actually commented underneath, and you guys can all see the comment. Go out there and check it. I said, Matt Law, I really would like to have a conversation with you, because right now I don't know if you're just taking the mic by doing these articles to get the likes and the clicks on your articles. Or are you actually genuine about some of these outrageous sort of thoughts? And I said, I'm all up for the other side of the coin. I'm all up for the other perspective. But this is now a bit too ridiculous. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like the reason why I'm so keen is I kind of want to host it, because then I can let Miz off a chain. And Miz can, because I feel like if Miz has to host it, then he kind of has to be professional and he has to be nice. If I host it, right, and just be impartial, and then let Miz come from the fan perspective, which a lot of the fan base are feeling. I feel like it could be.
Bro, do it, bro. I'm down.
I
can't
feel like
wait
it
to
could
talk
be,
about Rudiger. I can't wait to talk about Rudiger with you.
I feel like it'll be Hazard under the lights. I really do.
Can I get front row ticket?
Well, do you know what? It could be.
I'm just gonna be eating popcorn.
We've never done an all-you-can-eat Chelsea guest, and I don't know if we should consider it.
Yes. I like that, Matisse. I like that.
The only thing Matt Law would have to have a face cam. We don't do anonymous shit here, right? You have to show.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, but anyway, yeah. So it could be something.
Or you can just put a picture of Rudiger as his face cam.
Yeah.
Understand it.
Miz has got a stream. I've got to eat before Rance's stream at 1. Yes, we are back at 1 again because I think last time we cancelled. Younes, I'm sure, has got an upload to prepare for later this evening as well, and probably eat lunch. So without further ado, we shall see you next week. Wednesday or Thursday. It will probably be Thursday, let's be real. But if we win, I mean, we should win. It could get moved, but I rarely move my shows, but it could get moved. So just prepare for the community tab thing. Yes, that update. That thing that I do where I update you on the schedule every now and then. Yes. And make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Okay.
Yeah, like and subscribe.